Lowering costs, cutting taxes, and building the middle class. Those are campaign promises Vice President Harris made in Pittsburgh. She unveiled her economic priorities yesterday and took a few swings at Donald Trump while touting the Biden-Harris administration's record. But we wanted to know just how accurate were her claims. So that's where the CBS News Confirmed team comes in. Rhona Tarrant is here with me in Studio 57. She's the executive editor of our CBS News Confirmed unit. Let's get right into it. So Vice President Harris went after Trump on his record when it comes to manufacturing jobs. It's something he loves to brag about, but some of the jobs that he planned, that he expected, did not actually happen. I want to play some of the vice president's sound.
Created almost 740,000 manufacturing jobs. On Trump's watch, offshoring went up and manufacturing jobs went down across our country and across our economy. All told, almost 200,000 manufacturing jobs were lost during his presidency, starting before the pandemic hit, making Trump one of the biggest losers ever on manufacturing.
So I know numbers are not just that simple. So how accurate is this?
Yeah, so let's start with what's true. It is true that since Biden-Harris took office, 740,000 manufacturing jobs have been added to the U.S. economy.
Okay.
It's also true that when Trump left office, that there were fewer manufacturing jobs in the U.S. economy by around 179,000. However, there's key context missing here, and that is the pandemic.
Right.
So when Trump, before the pandemic hit, Trump actually was on track to add manufacturing jobs, or the U.S. economy was on track to add manufacturing jobs, about 350,000. Of course, the pandemic hit, massive job losses across the U.S. very quickly. The recovery actually started in 2020 during the last few months of his term. So we saw the manufacturing jobs tip upwards until about January 2021 when Biden-Harris took office. So that left him with net job losses in manufacturing. However, a lot of that was because of the pandemic.
Right.
Since Biden-Harris took office, there has been a huge growth in manufacturing jobs, but it's also worth noting that many of those have been recovered since the pandemic. So, as you said, it's not totally black and white.
Right. The former president likes to call them bounce back jobs.
Yes.
I think that's his phrase. The vice president also talked about Trump's tax cut plan. Gonna play some sound.
An agenda that gives trillions of dollars in tax cuts to billionaires and the biggest corporations, while raising taxes on the middle class by almost $4,000 a year, slashing overtime pay, throwing tens of millions of Americans off of health care, and cutting Social Security and Medicare. In sum, his agenda would weaken the economy and hurt working people and the middle class.
It's a grim picture. Is it accurate?
So a few of these figures we've heard quite a few times before, but let's start with two of the biggest ones. One is tax cuts, billionaires raising taxes on middle-income people. So Trump is proposing extending his 2017 tax cuts, which, yes, did have tax breaks for high earners. Mm-hmm. But we've also spoken to economists who say this had an impact also. It had tax breaks for lower income earners and middle income earners. So it's broad-based. It's not just for, as Vice President Harris said, billionaires. The second part of this, which people may have heard a few times, is that $4,000 number. So $4,000 tax hikes for middle-income families. What Vice President Harris is actually referring to is an estimate about what it might cost for an average middle-income family if Trump were to impose tariffs like he's spoken about. So he has said we want to impose tariffs of 10% or 20%. He said a few numbers. On imported goods and up to 60% on goods from China. Now, if that were to happen, some people say that could cost the average family extra $4,000 per year because those costs would be put on the average consumer. But estimates vary. So it really depends on what import tariffs are put in place, how much they are, and then also what the real world impact of that is. But it's an estimate.
Okay, all good to know. Rhona, thank you so much.